So from here, we'll transition into our third segment, brainstorming ideas when you just want to have open-ended conversations with the AI. So I'll pass it off to Cory, who's going to show us how to do that.
All right. Wonderful, Jane. Thank you so much. My name is Cory Needham. I teach in Northern California in Sonoma County. And I want to show you guys about the brainstorm ideas section here. So on the left-hand side, I'm going to go to the brainstorm ideas. And here, it's less formatted for like the generating an actual lesson. I can come in here and I can just say, hey, I have some things that I just kind of want to bounce around, hence brainstorm. And it gives you all of these potential kind of prompts or nudges that you might be interested in looking at. And if you scroll to the top of them, you can see what they are. So interactive lesson planning, engage students by creating dynamic lessons that incorporate multimedia, hands-on activities, and real-world examples. Okay. And of course, you guys can read through all of these and you can kind of pick like, what do I want to kind of talk about a little bit? One that I find myself focusing on a lot is interactive assignment ideation. And so in here, it's going to be generating, engaging, and interactive assignments that promote active learning, collaboration, and real-world application concepts. So if I go ahead and jump in here, the first thing that Claire, our colleague AI, is going to introduce herself and then actually ask, could you please tell me more about the course topic and the specific assignment that you would like to discuss? And I'm here to collaborate with you. I actually saw a question that somebody asked about like we've shown about like generating lessons, but what about if we already have an idea in mind? Well, this is where you can kind of go to kind of flesh something out. If you have an idea in mind that's already given to you from a curriculum that you might have, but you want to kind of maybe do something better with it. And I want to highlight just a couple things here. So I've used this quite a few times and I wanted to get some story problems. I have a bunch of just drill and kill, plain Jane, just assignments, and I wanted to kind of spice it up a little bit, and I wanted some math story problems. So what I did is that I came in here and I just said, I teach 8th grade mathematics. I have some students who are totally in love with Taylor Swift, and I need to hit the following standards. And I just threw all my standards straight into there and then just said, can you design some fun story problems around Taylor Swift to hit these standards? And lo and behold, right here, you've got some ideas that are going to come in here talking about her Eras tour that she just did, talking about the stage and the shape and everything. So it gives me some ideas and I can kind of roll with those ideas and I can flesh those out further if I need to, or I can just take them as is. And then from here, I said, okay, well, let's switch it up because I also have students who are big into sports, specifically the San Francisco Giants. Since it's baseball season, what can you design for them? And it goes through, it talks about Buster Posey's batting average, Brandon Crawford's batting average, Gabe Kapler. So talking about the Giants, so it gets those kids involved and it builds me some problems here. The other thing, and I didn't need to do it on this one, but this also would allow me to level up or down. So I could sit here and say, okay, I really like these problems. Let's make these a little bit more challenging. And so that's going to fit my students' zone of proximal development, ZPD. And I can say, hey, make it harder, make some that are a little bit easier. And so I can make sure I'm getting my students' specific area where they need to be at. And then I can come in here, I could highlight one of these problems and I could actually even also ask it to create a 4-point grading rubric for me. And so, okay, I'm going to do standards-based grading. I'm going to do a 4-point scale and put together a 4-point grading rubric for this problem, and then for this problem, and then for this problem. And it can really just kind of build those ideas and save me a boatload of time and make a more kind of engaging lesson, in my opinion, than just the standard drill and kill. Then the other one, and this one I really like, and this kind of touches back to what Tim had talked about earlier, is coming in here, I can say, okay, again, I teach 8th grade mathematics. I've got some absolute Swiftie fans, and I need to hit these standards. But what I changed up in this one is I said, I don't need to hit all the standards in this single lesson, but I do need help designing a lesson that hits one or more of them and uses the jigsaw strategy. I've heard about the jigsaw strategy in a professional development the other day, but I'm not exactly sure how to implement it. And I think for the teachers in the room, we've all been to a professional development where it means well and we get just like a word salad of things thrown at us. And we walk away and we go, I feel like there was a lot of good information and I wrote a lot of things down, but I don't exactly know how to use them particularly. And as a new teacher, I mean, I've been doing this for 8 years now, still new, but when I was at the beginning, I felt like this a lot. And so by using Colleague here, I can go in and say, okay, cool, I want to do this. And it designed the assignments for me. And I responded, okay, I'm going to need some help detailing the lessons, but I really want to focus on that jigsaw strategy and how it works within what you have suggested for this assignment. And then Claire went through and outlined what the jigsaw strategy is and how it would work within the confines of the lesson that I've asked for. I was then able to go in and, in my own words, clarify what I thought the jigsaw strategy was, and then ask, do I have that correct? And Claire was able to then just confirm that to me that, yep, you have it right. This is what you do. This is how you implement it. This is how it works. And I find that super helpful. I like to think of Colleague AI as a productivity maximizer. Min talked about that 21 hours earlier about how we just spend a lot of time, unfortunately, not teaching. And this allows me to then, as a new teacher, um, take like an idea that I've heard about, and rather than go to an actual like real life colleague and take their time as well, I get to just sit here with, colleague AI, Claire, and flesh this out on my own and really get a better understanding for these new professional developments. So I think it also enhances the professional developments that, in my opinion, sometimes are a little bit lacking. And I think that's a really powerful way to use the brainstorm section here so we can access more time in our schedule and, really kind of better be able to teach our assignments. So back to you, Janie.
Thanks, Corey. And can I just say, I would love to be in your class if you're adapting your lesson plans for Taylor Swift fans. But also it was really helpful to know that teachers can use Colleague to translate and implement new concepts from PD. I think you used the word salad, which I liked, and use a strategy like Jigsaw and apply it in a more practical way.